Hello, Christelle Robinson-Tiedemann here, aka Cree. I am a certified human design analyst and life coach, and this is HD Thursday. HD Thursday is a weekly human design learning segment inside of my collective perspective membership, or the CP for short. We like nicknames around here. And that is my monthly membership community. And it's all about internal self leadership. It's centered on the art of contemplation and human design experimentation. We practice bringing the unconscious into the conscious and living intentionally in alignment and learning through our lived experience. Welcome to everybody. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Thursday. As you can see, I'm in a new environment. So much to tell you. Welcome. Let me know who's here. Please say hi as you come in. That would make me very happy. Let me just check and see that I am on. I am on and live. Okay, great. Say hi as you come in. I'd love to know who's here. And before we jump into our topic, for today, I highly recommend you pull up your chart. And so I made that really easy for you. You can just go into the description box of the live and you will see a link to mybodygraph.com, which is my favorite human design search engine. And you just put in your birth information. So you're going to need your birth date, your exact time of birth, and your city and country of birth. Put in all that information. It will generate your chart. I recommend having your chart in front of you. Maybe your chart, your partner's chart, your kid's chart. Bring up all the charts of all the people that matter to you. And grab yourself something delicious to drink. I don't know if you can actually hear. My sparkling water is so bubbly, it's making noise. So as we're doing that, I will let you guys know. We moved. I am in a new place and it's very exciting. And I also feel entirely exhausted and completely uprooted. So it's been emotional, but there are some beautiful perks. The place is a mess, as you can understand. So this is our view for today. The view where you can see as little as the apartment as possible. But I can't wait to show you guys the rest as everything comes together. We have moved and it has been fun. And I figured that alongside a new chapter for myself, we should start a fresh series on HD Thursday. So today will mark number 1 of our Foundations of Type series. So we're going back to basics because those are my favorite. Because the foundation, maybe it's because I'm a 4 line, and if you checked out the lines HD Friday, you'll know that line 1 and line 4 are both foundation lines. But I love foundation because I love something that we can build upon. And I truly want your human design to change your life. It is meant to change your life. It's not just fine, do it for fun if that's what you're into, but that's not my passion and that's not my purpose. My purpose is to give you something that you can literally use to feel fulfilled, to find alignment in your life. And so if you don't understand type as the basic, type, strategy, authority, your not self-theme, your true self-theme, these basics, none of the fluffy stuff like learning all the lines, none of that really matters until you really have a foundation of understanding type, understanding strategy, understanding authority. So we're starting out with our generators. Of course we are. Why? Because you're 70% of the population. We're starting out with the largest group. So for today, we are diving into our first part of our type series, Foundations of Type series, the generator. So if you have questions or comments, it's so much more fun for me when it's interactive. Just pop it into the chat. You can write anything into the chat, anything that comes up, any questions that come up, pop it in and we'll get to it. I'll officially answer questions at the end, but it's fun to, go back and forth. So feel free to bring anything, and it can even be something that is not related to the topic that we're talking about today. And you might be surprised how they might be related. So feel free to pop anything into the chat that you have a question about. Okay, and are we ready to get started? One more sip and cheers. Cheers to the new place for me. And cheers for joining me on this Thursday. All right, generators. Let's dive into it. Okay, so generators, like I said, you're 70% of the population. So that's most people, most likely interacting with a generator. And about 37% of that is pure generator, and about 33% of that is manifesting generator. And so there's going to be 4 episodes or 4 sections of this Foundations of Type series because there's 4 types. I know we say often there are 5 types, but truly there are 4 types because the generator type has 2 subsets. That's actually the more accurate way to describe it, is that there's a generator type which has 2 subsets. So today we are covering generator type because the mechanics are the same, very much the same for the generator and the manifesting generator, with some important differences. To be honest, when you encounter a person, a manifesting generator versus a generator, they feel very different, and they'll seem quite different. But the way that their energy operates is quite similar. So generator type today, that's going to include the generator and the manifesting generator. And so right off the bat, the first thing is, what is your purpose, generators? The generator type's purpose. And the generator type is here to build. These are the builders. I actually saw a carousel post on Instagram today from the Human Design System, and they basically said nothing of great meaning in this world was built without a generator. Generators are the great builders. And that is where this reference to like the worker bee came in. I don't love using the worker bee because it sounds kind of like enslaved, and that is actually part of the conditioning that generators go through, is like not feeling like they have control over their life when you're really here for freedom ultimately. But generators are here to build, and that's about like the job. Like this is about the work. They are here to work and put energy into something they can build towards. It really is about laboring, but like more like the labor of love type of laboring. And the vocation, that is a really beautiful word to use. I think that's one of the most beautiful words that I've been taught in understanding a generator, because at the root of what a generator is here to do, their building, is consistency. It's really about consistently waking up and putting their energy and doing the thing that they want to do, putting their energy into what they want to do, going to bed, waking up again and putting their energy into what they want to do, going to bed, waking up and putting their energy into what they want to do. And you look back at the end of your life at what you built. That is what the generator is working towards. And due to conditioning, unfortunately, oftentimes, like, generators aren't necessarily doing what they want to do. They're not putting their energy in what they want to do. It might be, I went to school and did what I was told was a great job to do at that time, or what mom and dad wanted me to do, and then waking up in their careers 15 years later, like this is a really common story, completely miserable, burnt out, no energy, and totally frustrated and dissatisfied. And so the key is about having a skill, learning a skill that was not chosen with the mind, that the body really wants to do. The body wants to wake up and do over and over and over and over and over again. And I have said before, like for the generators, it's all about doing what you love, but truly that's not the most accurate description, because it's not like it's all about like just what you love. Cause then it's like, well, why don't we just eat ice cream all day long? You know what I mean? It's not that simple. It's more about what the body of the generator wants to commit its energy to. So it could be a job that they don't mind. That too can be it. It's not necessarily have to be like super love, but it's something that they build towards, that something that they don't mind getting up for, that they don't, that their body moves towards wanting to do. It's really about the consistent energy into doing a thing that leads to satisfaction. This is really what it's all about. The purpose of the generator is. So it seems really simple, but oftentimes, honestly, my clients this is something that people struggle with the most, even though it seems really straightforward. The generator is truly here for freedom. It's the freedom to let my body move towards what it wants to move towards, what it gets lit up for. This is what the generator is here to do. And what that looks like is building something over time. Now, we'll get into later on a little bit of how that looks differently for the pure generator versus the manifesting generator. But all generator types are here to build. They are here to consistently move their bodies and their energy towards what they want to do, like what they love doing, what they want to do, what lights them up to do. Okay, so what are some of the common ways that generators are struggling to be themselves? And it's simply like implied by what I was saying, like it is really difficult to not be conditioned into listening to what I'm supposed to do, what is right to do, what I'm told to do, all of that. Like it is a pretty challenging thing when you understand how the generator energy and the body works. There's so many aspects and parts of life that have taught them that they don't get to listen to that innate skill. Like it's innately in them, right? This building. And so many aspects of life, school, for example, like do not allow for you to have the freedom of choice of where and when to direct your energy. So from a very young age, a very innate aspect about how the generator body moves is redirected, So it can be very difficult as a generator adult to now be like, what do you mean what I want to do? I need to go to work. I need to take the kids to school. I need to whatever, I have all of these responsibilities. But truly, it's not something that it's meant to happen just overnight, but it's about learning to listen to and trust the wisdom of the body's guidance towards what is to be done, and finding satisfaction in focusing that energy towards what it wants to do. And let's talk about the aspects that help the generator to do this. And we'll come back more to this topic of how do you actually practically as a generator start living by design. So what makes a generator? Their aura. And your aura is the electromagnetic energy field that's emanating off of every single person. And the generator's aura is open and enveloping. And how you can best understand that is kind of like a mesh or like a cheesecloth. It's open and enveloping, and this aura is feeling out into the world. So everyone's aura is about 3 feet all directions around you, except some people have a double wide aura, but it's about 3 feet all directions around you. And so this open and enveloping aura of the generator is feeling out into its external environment. And as it's feeling out into its external environment, like I said before, it's deciding based on how it responds to what it's feeling, with a like, with a yes or a no, and moving the body in that direction. So if we want to get technical, this is when you want to pull up your chart. What makes a generator is they have that red square towards the bottom, not the bottom one, not the very, very bottom one, the one above that, colored in, and that is the sacral center. If you see a sacral center colored in a chart, you are automatically a generator type. So that's either a generator or a manifesting generator. And that sacral being defined is what makes the aura, that generator field, makes the aura open and enveloping. And it creates the aura of the generator. And perfectly in alignment, the generator, that aura, the way that it works, the way that it feels out into the environment, it reaches out and it pulls towards it what it anything, like it just magnetizes. It's extremely magnetic. The strategy of the generator is to respond because of how the aura works. So the generator's aura, this open, enveloping electromagnetic field, is magnetizing everything towards it. So if a generator is sitting, in a room by themselves, like eventually someone is just going to walk up to you. Like generators are magnetizing things towards it. The aura is calling things in towards it, so then it can then feel and decide yes or no. Yes or no. It's magnetizing things towards it to then respond in terms of yes, or no, And that is very much the simple mechanics of how the generator works. So that energy field, as it feels things that it's an it moves towards it. This energy, that that movement towards, is what kicks on the generator. That's why the generator is called the generator. That sacral energy is a motor. It is a generating motor of unlimited amounts of energy that just go, 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 go when it is lit up, when it is an And so that yes energy is what fuels the generator. And again, the yes energy isn't just simply I love. It's like I want to do, I'm committed to do, I'm interested in doing, I want to work towards. I feel a commitment to consistency to do this thing. That is what that is. And so when we simplify it in that way, where it's not just simply doing things that you love, you can understand how you go to the doctor's office and you take the kids to work and you do all these other things in life, because there is a movement towards, like, I'm committed to this thing. I want to build this thing. Like your family can be a thing that you're building, right? Like it can be about doing things that build the family. It can be building in so many senses of that word. This is not meant to be rigid. The point is that looking back at like what I've built, it's that consistent flow of energy into something that, and we'll get right into it now, the not self theme and the true self theme, that feels satisfying. I look back on what I've built and I feel satisfied. I complete that task and I feel satisfied. The true self theme or signature of the generator is satisfaction. So this satisfaction, this is not a stagnant thing. The satisfaction is right along in alignment with all the other mechanics that we're describing. This energy, this movement, this auric field that is open and enveloping and feeling out into its environment, deciding what it wants to move towards and what it wants to move away from. That movement, that yes is the satisfaction. This is where the satisfaction comes from. So a lot of my generators say things like, after it could be a very hard day's work, right? Completion of that job, and sometimes not jobs that they love, but jobs that they feel good, that they want to that they are interested in committing to. The end of that hard day, they just feel satisfied. It's like, yeah, I did that. I built that. It's this energetic flow. So one of the analogies that we use in human design is of a hose. And so a hose with the water turned on, that's like the generator energy, right? That water rushing through the hose. When you kink a hose, what happens? The water gets backed up, right? That backed up energy, the water is still on. So the water is still rushing through the pipe. It's rushing through the pipe. It's rushing through the pipe. It creates pressure where that kink is. That describes frustration. It's like I want to go and I can't. It's like there's no fuel. It's like I'm pressing the gas and there's no fuel. That's what that kink is. And the release of that is the satisfaction, is that that movement towards, is the aha. Like, this is the kind of feeling that satisfaction is. It has movement to it. And it doesn't have to just be physical movement. It can be like movement in thought. And like, it's not all so necessarily physical, though that is an aspect. Like, there is a literal physical body of the generator needs to move, but that satisfaction can be, for researching. Like, it's just that energy flow out, that free flow of the energy. And the kinking, the blocking of the energy is where that frustration comes. And here's the thing with the generators, you cannot control your aha or your You cannot control where you want your energy to go. Our mind can decide, no, this is the job I'm supposed to do. This is the best paying one. This is exactly what I'm supposed to do. The mind can say that all it wants, but it doesn't control the sacral, even though it treats the body like the slave. So the mind will take the body of the generator to whatever it decided that it has to do, but it can't control the sacral. And so that generator energy is not going to flow just because you've decided that you want to. And so the frustration comes because there's no energy flowing. Is this making sense? So the frustration is from not having the water flowing through the hose. There isn't that freedom of energy because the sacral is not lit up. That's where frustration comes. And then satisfaction is that free flow of the energy to move towards what it wants to do. So the true self theme and the not self theme are really important to understand, generators. Like, it's really, really important to understand, because that is really what's going to tell you whether you are listening to your mind or you're listening to the body. And I will go back to this a million times over. Human design is all about teaching us that our body holds our wisdom, not our minds. Our minds are really here for the fun of it. Our bodies hold our wisdom. Your sacral is the decision maker. Your sacral is what will tell you what is a good decision and what is not. It's that energy towards, that energy that makes you a generator. The thing that makes you you is that sacral energy. If it's kinked because you have decided with your mind that you're supposed to do this, whatever it is that you've decided that you're supposed to do, but there's no energy flowing, this is when we see things like chronic illness showing up, chronic sleep problems showing up, chronic fatigue syndrome showing up. Like a lot of times when a generator, and this is why it really matters what someone's design and someone's type is, especially in coaching. A lot of times when there is an energy issue, so a generator is like, I just don't have energy, I feel listless all the time. It's you would think innately that rest is what's called for. If this was a projector or if this was a manifester, that might be the case. I would say yes, like this is, we need to figure out like where are you, what is your relationship with rest for your body. For the generator type, it's actually more about, are you moving your body in a way that feels satisfying? It's actually more about movement. Rest isn't the answer. The answer is actually energy flow. The answer is movement in the direction of what is wanted. That is the answer. That is what lets the generator energy flush out. The hose gets to release. And once that sacral energy is released, as soon as the tank runs off, the generator will turn off and go to sleep like a baby. Like the energy just needs to flow out. So it's very physical, right? And this is where that building, you can see that building energy, where that's going to come from. It is this consistent energy in the direction of what is wanted. Let me know if any questions are coming up or if anything's confusing at all. Let me take a sip of water. So a lot of generators are really under a misunderstanding because they're like, I don't understand how when I get a reading, someone tells me, oh, you have unlimited energy, I don't feel energetic at all. Yeah, well, that's because it's not simply that you have unlimited energy for anything. This is why you're not a slave. It's not, you're not a worker bee. Unless that work that worker bee is doing is the work of its life, like it's so into it, it finds so much satisfaction in that, then yeah, sure, you'll commit time and time and time and time again, over and over and over and over again, consistently into the night. Oh, it will be there, the energy will be there. But if there isn't an understanding that this is not something that you can't decide it from the mind, it has to be decided from the sacral energy. This is how that energy is going to flow out of your body. This is how that energy is going to actually lead to satisfaction. That flow is going to lead to satisfaction. And in that satisfaction, this is when the body can then be like release its desired energy, and then a beautiful good night's sleep can result. So let me think if I'm missing something. And let me know any questions that are coming up before we move into generator, pure generator versus manifesting generator. So generator has an open and enveloping aura. The open and enveloping aura feels out into the environment. It's magnetic. It draws things in towards it so that when it feels it, as it hits the edges and it wraps itself around it, it can decide yes or no, or That is the response, and that is the strategy of the generator. So what this looks like on a practical level is generators are here to build. Generators are here to build. And what are you here to build? What your sacral tells you to, what your sacral wants to do. What is your work? Your work is really learning that balance between finding a way to have your life be centered around the things that really light your energy up. So, does that sometimes mean that looks like people need to change their job? Yes, absolutely. Does it mean that you do it overnight? No, absolutely not. It's not about disrupting your life and just all of a sudden being like, F it, I'm just gonna, throw everything to the wind. And it doesn't mean that you don't fit into society, but it is the thing that is about like when do you want to do that certain thing at your job that you really don't love doing? Can it be after you've completed the aspect of your job that lights you up completely, and then in the sense of satisfaction you can, as quickly and efficiently as possible, complete that other task? Can you delegate things to other people that are areas of your job that you don't love? And if it really is an aspect of, I'm doing something that I hate because my parents told me to do it, or it's whatever reason, like, find let satisfaction guide you to that next thing. Where are the aspects of your life where you can add satisfaction? And as you add satisfaction, as you expose your aura to more things that it wants to do and say yes to, other things will show up in your life, and that guidance will come over time as to how you can pivot into the direction of what it is that you are truly lit up by. Because the fact is that satisfaction begets satisfaction. So the more satisfied you are, remember, generator, your aura is magnetic. In that satisfaction, more satisfying things will be magnetized towards you. More satisfaction, more satisfying things will be magnetized towards you. The more frustrated you are, more frustrated things will be magnetized towards you. And you're frustrated from that, more frustrating things will be magnetized towards you. So it's about finding and understanding the way that your energetic mechanics work, the way that this aura works, and really allowing it to work for you. So start in the areas that really make sense, that are obvious to you. Start feeling what satisfaction feels like in the body. Really get a good understanding of what satisfaction feels like. And satisfaction, not self themes and true self themes, these are not about mental understanding. It's a sensation. It is a feeling. Satisfaction is the feeling of that energy flow in the way that it wants to. It's that feeling. That's like what that feeling is. I can't describe that to you. You need to understand and feel that for yourself so that you get it. It's not like, I think this thing is supposed to be satisfying, therefore it isn't. This job pays this much, so this should be satisfying. And then it's like, what's wrong with me? Nothing makes me happy. No, 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 no. You have to feel it. Feel, let your body tell you, let that sensation run through you. And so find the areas of your life where satisfaction is the most available. Build a relationship with satisfaction. Understand what it feels like. Let it draw more satisfaction towards you, more satisfaction towards you. Start understanding how response works, how the difference between when your sacral floods energy towards something versus when your mind told you to do it. And this is, communication is what I wanted to get into that we didn't cover. In partnerships, in your family, in at work, in households. So this is where, really learning to communicate. For generators, understand how you communicate, and non-generators understand how to communicate with a generator. So it really is about freedom and finding as much freedom as possible to allow your sacral to flow. So for example, if you're, you want a non-sacral being, you want to tell your generator partner to like go do the dishes and they don't move. Like, I know from experience, it's like, oh, like, you said you would do the dishes, why are you not doing the dishes? But like, it actually is so unhelpful to that generator to force them into doing the thing before their sacral is ready to do it. Like it's so not helpful. And so it really is good to have an understanding and a communication where it's like, I will do it. I'm gonna do I will get to it. It might not be in this moment, but I am gonna get to it. I will. And that time will come. The time there will be that moment where the generator knows, like, I don't know if it's like you're sitting and they're watching the game, and then you turn and you see the dish in the sink and your body just says, aha. The aha isn't like, oh my God, I love washing dishes so much. You know what I want to do? I want to just jump up from the couch from this stupid game and turn my life into washing dishes. That's not what it is. The aha was, I have the energy to do this now. I have the energy to commit to this now. And they will take themselves over to the sink and wash those dishes. But to get up and do it at the time when there isn't energy there, it's like damn near painful. Damn near painful. So the generator truly operating in their own flow isn't going to look like doing everything that everybody wants you to do when you want to do it. It's just not. And there's an understanding that there are always going to be times when you don't really have a choice. And one of the beautiful thing about this open and enveloping aura is that there is always something available, usually, that you can find satisfaction. So let's say that you need to go into the doctor's office you have a doctor's appointment and you don't want to go. It's 8:00 in the morning and you're not a morning person, but you got to wake up and you got to go to the doctor's office. It's like that drive in the car, like, ooh, that feeling of I love driving in an open road, but it's not too much traffic. It's early enough that there's not too much traffic. Like that zooming down the street, that feels good. Ooh, remember, magnetic aura. So that satisfaction is going to pick up on something else. And so then you think to yourself, my favorite coffee shop is right next to the doctor's office. I'll get my favorite coffee after the doctor's office. You get into the doctor's office and you're like, ooh, there's a really nice smell in here. Or like, let's say, they have like, I don't know, like scented candle, or they have like those reed sticks. My fertility clinic is in a really beautiful office. I love going in there. I'm like, it's so pretty. Like this actual building is so pretty. Did I want to wake up early? I'm not a generator, but I'm just using this as an example. I didn't want to wake up early to go for my fertility appointments at like 7 a.m. before I went to work. But by the time I hit this certain point on the Upper West Side, I'm like, man, this is beautiful. Walking down the street, seeing all the beautiful old buildings. In New York has these really beautiful old buildings, like apartment buildings. They have names like the Waldorf. They're gorgeous. And like the old theater. And then I walk by, beautiful shops, and it's just like, that's nice. That's like, you tap into that generator, that's satisfaction. Yeah, you did not want to go to the doctor's office. You can accept that I am doing this thing that I must do, but you don't have to lie to yourself that my life is about doing things that I don't want to do. This thing right now, yes, there's an aspect of life where everything is not exactly what we want, but there are satisfying things about it. And then everywhere that you can possibly control, which are more areas than you would think, which are definitely more areas than you would think, you listen to your response. You listen to your sacral being lit up, that that yes, that no, letting it move through you and letting your body truly be your guide. And so because of this strategy of response, which is that aura feeling out into its external environment and either moving towards it or moving away, saying yes to it or saying no, that is the way that the generator communicates. Throwing at a generator an open-ended question the way that you could to a projector just puts them in their mind. That is a really surefire way to get a generator into their mind and get a not self answer. And it could be as simple as, what do you want to eat for dinner? that response, that is the kink in the hose. That is the kink in the sacral flow. It's like, what? I don't know what to, the sacral can't move towards that or away from that. It needs to be a yes or no. And so a better question is like, are you hungry? And even that cannot be specific enough sometimes. Sometimes it's like, do you want something? Do you want pizza or do you want sushi? And it's like, ooh, sushi. Or it's like, oh, I don't feel for pizza. And it's like, okay, do you want sushi or do you want pasta? Ooh. And there's even the ooh, like there's a whole movement towards it. There's a whole energy rise. That is the sacral. That's what the sacral looks like when the the hose is unkinked, when the flow comes. That's what it looks like. It's that it's that it's yeah, it's okay. It's like an entire flow coming with it, and an is like a or a movement away, or like there is a physical aspect to it. And that brings up another important point, my generators. A very good indicator of the health of your sacral, your relationship with your sacral response, is whether you make noises or not. So the generator makes guttural sounds. A generator with a healthy sacral makes guttural sounds. Ugh, ooh, ee, oh, oh, ooh, ugh, These noises are the sound of that response. It's the sound of that sacral responding to the things around it. When I'm in the presence of a generator, focusing their attention on something that they want, there's grunting happening all over the place. And there are a lot of generators in my life. And I just giggled to myself. I don't know if in the past, this might have been something that annoyed me. And honestly, a lot of generators as young children are conditioned out of their sacral noises because it's like, stop that. What are you doing? What is that noise? Stop that. You're grunting all over the place. But that is truly the sound that generator makes in its true alignment. And so if you start paying attention, generators and non-generators, pay attention to the generators in your life. Pay attention to when you're talking to them and they're like, or are they very still? If I have a generator come on a call, like a client call, and I have a generator in front of me and they're sitting there and they're making no movement, I know that there's some sacral atrophy there and that there is a relationship to be built with the sacral. And so I might start asking, not even telling them, but I might start asking yes, no questions just to test it more. And then as soon as I see something, as soon as I see a ooh or a uh-huh, I'm trying to think of one that happens often. That happens often. In the middle, like if I say something that like really hits the nail on the head, it's like, that, and then I'll call it out like that. You see that right there? That is your sacral. That is your sacral. And that feeling, that energy flow in the body, that is what that sacral, yes, and that sacral energy feels like. So yes, no questions are the best way to help the generator in your life. Give them options, give them something to respond to. Generator types, ask for it. Ask someone, I don't really, you might not say like, I don't really have anything to respond to, but be like, can you just help me out with that question? Can you give me a couple of options to toggle with? Like if you're at work and someone's just like your coworker shoots an open-ended question at you and you feel your sacral like, and you're like, what will happen is if you don't allow the sacral flow is you will answer from your mind and it will not be the best answer. It will not be the right answer for you. it really, you want your sacral energy flowing. And so it would be like, can you give me some options? Shoot some things out to me. And they'll say something that will give you that response, you know? One of the things that I talked about in the myths, I did an HD Thursday that was all about common human design myths. One of the things I talked about is the myths that I even taught before I became certified is that generators, some people teach and some generators believe that they can ask themselves those yes no questions. You cannot. You cannot. That would be the mind. And remember, this is a physical response. The aura, think of your aura as an extension of your body, if that helps to understand it. All of our auras are our body. Think of your body as like, it's not just the strict end of it is not the skin. And we all know this because you've definitely even seen oh my God, my like the hairs on, you can't see it. I got goosebumps and the hair stood up on my arm. But like we all know that you can feel electricity. You all know that when something is dry and rubbed and it goes this close, you feel that pull. So this skin is not the end of that barrier. It's just the end of the barrier we can see. Think of your aura as the fringes, the final edge of your body. Like that's truly the end of where you are. And we even know that when someone is in our personal space, why does it feel so confronting? Because it's literally your body. It really is. They're in your electromagnetic force. And so think of that aura as that extension of your body, knowing that it's physical. That question that's being answered, the aura needs to respond to something outside of itself. Outside of itself. The aura, open and enveloping, is feeling into what is magnetized towards it and deciding, There's nothing for the aura to respond to if you sit there and ask yourself questions. Am I hungry? Your mind is going to respond if you do that. So for using am I hungry as an example, which I've used before on these lives, the best way to know, if you sit and ask yourself, you might say, yeah, I'm hungry. And then you get up and you walk over to the fridge and you open the fridge and everything in the fridge, you're like, And then you're like, oh, I'm not really hungry. The answer was not yes. So the best way to do that would be actually go to the fridge, open it up and let your body respond and tell you. That's just an example, but that would be like for anything. So generators need to give themselves, put yourself in an environment to respond to things. That could be, looking through a catalog. That can be even scrolling on the internet and social media. If you're looking for ideas for something, I don't know, I'm decorating our house, like look through catalogs, look through magazines, look through things on the internet. Ooh, see what gives you an aha, and ooh, like that. Go for a walk. Like a lot of times a generator is stumped at their work or whatever it is that they're creating, and they're just sitting there alone, inside of their office and just like racking their brains and feeling frustrated because it's kinked. There's nowhere for the energy to flow. There's nothing that the aura is responding to. And therefore, if the aura isn't responding to something, the sacral does not have the signal to release. It doesn't have anything to give you the So get up, go take a walk. I don't know a single generator type that doesn't love going for walks. Why? You're responding all over the freaking place on a walk. It gives you so much energy to move towards things, to just have the sacral feel alive. Okay, so again, any questions coming up, let me know. Now, yes, the generator type, manifesting generators, you are both generator types. Where are you different? The pure generator is here with a linear process. The pure generator is here to do things in sequential order. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. My pure generators, over time, if you look back in your life, you will see that that thing that you did, 10 years ago prepared you for the thing that you did 8 years ago, and then 6 years. And then everything is building upon itself. There is a linear process to the pure generator. They move even slightly slower than the manifesting generator. They are sequential. And the pure generator tends to really consistently focus on one thing at a time. And so sometimes, let's say in my coaching, if I have a pure generator client and they're kind of like jumping all over the place or juggling a lot of things, part of my coaching might be for them is for how can we focus? Let's allow your sacral to tell us where you can focus on one thing. Like, what is the one thing that you can put your energy into? Is it this or is it that? Is it this or is it that? And that focused energy, narrowing it down rather than splitting it, is where the pure generator actually thrives. And then they move to the next thing. And it's all in this kind of sequential building process over time. Now, the manifesting generator does not work in a linear fashion. They work in a non-linear fashion. This is your multitasking juggler. This is your a little bit of that, then they'll stop and move on to a little bit of that, and then they'll come back to this at a different point and continue with that. But probably what they did over there helped them to be able to continue with this over there. So they kind of look like a squirrel from the outside to a lot of people. And it looks a little bit scattered, but that is genuinely the manifesting generator's way. They are not following a sequential order. And from the mechanics of this is where you might want to pull up your chart again, your human design body graph. A pure generator, both a generator and a manifesting generator, have the sacral defined. But the manifesting generator also has a motor connected to the throat. So whenever you see a generator chart, so the sacral, that red squares is colored in, but they also have a motor center that connects in one way, whether directly or indirectly, to the throat, which is a manifestor's mechanics. You now have a manifesting generator. And we've talked about this before in a different HT Friday. I think we talked about it. Was it last week? I can't remember. I'm so sorry. But basically, the throat center, that is the manifestation center, the action center, the center of bringing form into action, expression, one way or another. That could be verbal expression, active expression. So when there is a motor that is directly connected to the throat, that is that pistol movement. And so that's why they're like, boom, 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 because it's that also with a sacral defined. That's a lot of energy. That is a lot of energy. So the way that the manifesting generator is working is kind of like, I'm lit up by this, I'm lit up by that. It moves over here, I'm lit up by that, and they go towards that, and then they move towards that. But in the end, there is a completion process. So it's not that they just abandon the thing completely. They will come back to the thing that they started before. So it's the same. The generator types are the same in terms of they're both building. But the pure generator's building over time looks like this. And the manifestor generator's building over time looks like this. Still ends up in the same place. You see? So they are both building. It's just one is more of a linear process and one is more of a non-linear process. So when it comes to conditioning, okay, as I mentioned kind of in the beginning, a lot of generators in general, you are conditioned out of listening to their sacral because it's like the kid, outside playing and it's like, come on in for dinner. They don't want to come inside for dinner. They're satisfied. Their sacral's going. They got their energy. You have to drag that kid inside. You got to peel them away from what it is that they want to do. Some of those kids are the ones reading. Those are some generator kids are the ones that are under the blankets all night long with a flashlight, just reading all night because there's so much satisfaction that they're getting out of this book. And they have so much energy that's constantly lit up over time. And it's like, you can't be reading it in the middle of the night. You turn that off right now. And so like, from a young age, it's like understanding that you can't just do what you want when you want. That's not what life is about. So what do they learn to do? Follow the rules. Well, there's a way and there's a time and a place. So I guess I'm supposed to do this thing. I guess I'm supposed to do that job. I guess I'm supposed to be with that person that checks all those boxes that my mom told me that, makes a good partner, rather than listening to the body because it hasn't been allowed. It hasn't been fully allowed to follow your own response, really, right? In addition to the conditioning that all of us have in the world, that manifestor conditioning of like, just go for it, just do it. All of this is teaching the generator to listen to the mind, listen to what they're taught, listen to the rules, listen to school, rather than listen to this thing in your body that's like, yeah, I don't wanna. But the truth is that there is so much frustration that is built up inside of the generator. So much misery that's built up inside of the generator, which leads to chronic illness and all of these things when their sacral is constantly unable to respond to what they want to. And then the manifesting generator has this extra bit of conditioning on top of them. And like, I even can see myself guilty of this in my everyday life, just living with a manifesting generator. But it's like, that sequence that you're doing makes no sense to me. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, if we're making dinner and we are we're making pizza and a salad, we would put the oven on first, heat up the oven, make the pizza, put it in the oven, make the salad while the pizza's making. A manifesting generator might start salad first. Let's make the salad first. And then we'll move to this, and then we'll move to, and the process just doesn't make sense to me and to others. It's like, that doesn't look right. Like, you're not doing it right. So a lot of manifesting generators learn from a pretty young age, like, not to listen to they don't do it right. They're in trouble. They're not following the right rules in the right sequence. I'm too scatterbrained. I don't do anything in the right order I've been told. So what do? Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Okay, what should I do next? And constantly, oops, sorry about that, my alarm. And constantly looking outside of themselves for the answers. Constantly looking for someone else to tell them what to do. That is some conditioning that I see very clearly, specifically with manifesting generators, more so than even the generators, because they're just so much as they've been stopped so often that's just like, that doesn't make sense. What are you doing? You're doing it wrong. But they're not doing it wrong. They're doing it in their way. And we need to mind our own business. I'm speaking to myself. But like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It looks like, what are you doing? Like, but you just started that, and now it's a little bit like ADHD. As an ADHD person, I can understand. I've also been told constantly that I was doing everything wrong and out of order. It's not like a manifesting generator. Mine was a little bit more scattered, but we still are taught so often there's the right way, there's the right order, this is how you're supposed to do it. And so all of those supposed tos are completely anathema to listening to my body's yes or no in the moment. It's the opposite of that, right? So generators and manifesting generators are very much conditioned out of listening to their own body's truth. And so your work, generators, is to really understand, what does satisfaction feel like? What does it feel like? And when you know what it feels like, start understanding when my body said yes and when my mind said yes. When my body has the energy to do it and when my mind told me to and I'm dragging my damn feet. When I'm frustrated, understand that I probably am doing something that I don't have the energy to do. Or I didn't respond. I just initiated. I didn't actually get an aha or an I didn't actually let my sacral decide. I just let my mind take me. And understand that that frustration is that kink in the hose. The energy wants to be released. So you need something to respond to, and you need to find satisfaction. And as you understand your true self-theme satisfaction, understand your not self-theme of frustration, start really paying attention to how often you are giving up your control, giving up your own power, moving out of inauthenticity in your life as you hear your guttural responses, feel your body move towards things. When you're feeling low energy, remind yourself, remember, I actually probably need to move. I need to do something. I need to put my energy in something that I want. If you are chronically tired, this isn't about needing more rest. The rest could actually be more damaging, generator types. It could be more damaging resting rather than putting your energy, all that backed up, gunked up energy in the sacral. Like, this is dis-ease comes from that, you know? And for my non-generator types, it's really about allowing their freedom. And this isn't easy. This isn't easy for the generator, and this isn't easy for the non-generator. I'm speaking from experience. Because we have all these decided rules about when and how things are supposed to go. But when you're letting your body lead you, it's not about this prescribed how and when. And so non-generator types, encouraging and allowing for your generators in your life to do things in their own way. One of my biggest pet peeves, I'll give you a real life example. One of my biggest pet peeves is when the laundry is not completed like all in one. I hate doing laundry. Actually, my husband and I both hate doing laundry, which is not a great combination. But my thing is, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And so I don't do it until I'm ready to do it. Because what I hate more than doing the laundry is doing half the laundry and then putting the laundry in a laundry bag and then kicking that bag around all week. It moves from here, and then it moves to here, and then it moves to the side of the couch, and then it moves to the couch. And you start the laundry on Monday, and then Saturday comes and the laundry's not freaking done, and this stupid bag of laundry got pushed around. Like, it's my greatest pet peeve. But I live with a manifesting generator who might get the often gets the to start the laundry, but then doesn't have the to finish the laundry. And so how this can work in compromise for us is, that's fine. That's fine if you don't want to finish the laundry. I don't want to see the bag. I just don't want to see the bag. Please put the bag in a place that is out of my line of sight. Or just get it done, you know. And if you can't do that, I totally get it. So we'll have to find a new place. We'll put it in the closet because we have more space in this place. But in our old place, the laundry room was separate. I would take the bag and I would put it in the laundry room, and then it wouldn't bother me. and he could do it on his time when he got the you know. So it's really about understanding, like, don't make the generator do things that they don't want to do when they don't want to do it. It's not good for them. It really is not good for them. And generators, understand that that is how your body works. You do want to be doing things that your energy wants you to do. You also want to find a way to do things that you don't love doing in satisfaction or through satisfaction, or just in the right time. My non-generators, ask your generators open-ended questions. Non-open-ended questions. Yes, no questions. Give them multiple choice options. This is helpful. Generators, ask for multiple choice options. Ask for yes, no questions. Understand that you're not stupid. You're not stupid at all. You're just not using your energy flow. You're pressing a gas pedal to a car that's not turned on. Nothing's happening. And it doesn't matter how much you rack your brain. That's not where the energy is coming from. So turn your sacral on by giving it something to respond to. That's communication. All right. Let me check my notes. I think that's everything. About the generator, the foundations of the generator. Do you feel like you understand this better? Generators and non-generators? Are we understanding how the generator works? You were 70% of the population. So think of everything in this life that we see. All of the major aspects of our society are built and sustained by generators. That is a good word that I didn't use. Sustain. The generator, the sacral, is sustained energy. It's about sustainment, sustainability, that consistency of flow. Everything that is meaningful in our lives is sustained by the generators. And this is why it makes sense when you think about the overarching aspect of humanity. 70% of our population, the majority of people, are born as generators to sustain us, to sustain life, to sustain society, to sustain what we build, to build. So you only need a few initiators, right? We have 9% manifestors that initiate something. Generators take that over and keep it going, while projectors guide them in that process. But without that generator energy to build and be consistent, there would be none of this. And the projectors guiding them along that process. And then we have reflectors there showing and mirroring to us what we've created as a humanity. So you are a super important part of the puzzle. You are the type that is the most here to live for themselves. It's really about, who am I? That is the question that the generator is born to ask themselves. And when we say, who am I? It's, what do I like? What do I want to do? Where do I want to put my energy? What do I want to sustain? What do I want to be consistent? What do I want to build? What do I want to build? That is your question, generator. And as you put that energy into what it is that you want to build, everything is sustained. And there is so much satisfaction in that. So much satisfaction. And remember that this is a mechanical process. Most of the time, this comes back to movement. Most of the time, this comes back to energetic flow. Allowing for the sacral to be able to respond. And start grunting. I want to hear your noises, generator. Start grunting all over the place. Start ahhing all over the place. Make those noises. I want you to test yourself. Check yourself. Do you notice? Start paying attention. to when you're eating food, next time you eat something really, really delicious, did you hold that in? Did you hold it in? That was trained out of you. As a kid, you went So listen to yourself. Those with generator partners, listen to them. Listen out for it, and listen to their sacral. Oh my gosh, I have to say this last thing. Listen to what their body does more than what their words say. This is life-changing for me. Okay, this is huge for me. I do this with clients, with friends, my partner, with everyone. For all the generators in my life, I listen to their body and their sacral more than the words. That is where you get the truth. If it's like, yeah, okay, sure. That was an That was a no. That was actually a no. And so then you can respond with, well, okay, well, what about this or this? And then you might actually get a ooh or a, oh, yeah, And then you know that there's the truth. But most of us are conditioned. We live in a not self world. So most of us are operating in our not self. So most of us are not, even those who know this. Remember, this is all about experimentation. This isn't about perfection. And this is about lived experience. Just because I told you all this tonight doesn't mean that you're just going to go forward and live in alignment with your design overnight. So most of us are so trained into using our mind. It is going to take practice. Call yourself out. Call the generators out in your life when you start noticing your body did not say yes. And do it lightly and lovingly, your body did not say yes. And I'll call this out with my clients. I'll be like, was that really a yes? And then I'll be like, I guess not. Did you notice how your body felt? Did you notice that your body didn't move? Did you notice your body actually stiffened up? Did you notice that you actually slightly moved away from the camera? Did you notice that no movement happened? This is what I want you to start to play with. This is the experimentation that I want you to have. Any questions that come up, drop it into the comment section. The comment section of the chat, and I will answer, and I will respond. And are there any questions that are coming up right now about the generator types, manifesting generators? Anything that's coming up about how you operate, my beautiful, beautiful generators. So if something comes up in post, and for those of you in the CP, you can just ask in the Telegram and we'll continue the chat in there. And actually, I'll take this opportunity to tell you guys about the Collective Perspective community. If you like this type of learning, if you love diving into your human design, and you really want to have a space where you can have conversation about it, because I find that more learning happens when you actually talk it out, when you actually bring your real life circumstances, when it doesn't just sit in here. And as we're understanding from the generator conversation today, so much of our issues are just sitting in our mind and racking our brains over and over with information rather than moving with information. And so what is really beautiful that happens inside of the membership space is that we actually get to have conversations about real life experiences, and we bring things forward that each other can bounce off of, that we can hear another perspective, where you can realize you're not alone, where you can have a reflective process to see where you're actually limiting yourself, to see where I've actually been operating in my mind. That was not through my authority at all, but we're so conditioned we don't even realize it. So having this space to show up and to be with others and to have an active practice of contemplation. That's what we do. And contemplation is like this gentle, non-judgmental process of personal examination, it's almost a meditative process of reflection. And it involves different aspects, but a huge part of that is just learning from our own past experience, our own current experience, and extracting the wisdom together. This is what we do inside of the collective perspective. And every month we have a live call where we'll dive into a different lesson or something that has been a theme throughout the month that has been coming up with different members, a theme or a conversation that we've been holding. We'll dive more into that. I answer your questions unlimited. If you have personal questions, you want to bring your actual personal experience in a more intimate setting about something in your human design, you ask it. Today we were talking about incarnation cross in there and talking more about what that actually means, because that is a pretty confusing one that a lot of people do not understand. And it's even complex, even for human design analysts. Like, that is a very complex topic. But breaking things down really simply, answering questions. We've been talking about rest a lot and how difficult it is. We'll get to that on the projector type call, but like, it is so difficult, the same way that it's difficult for the generator to be like, what do you mean respond? What do you mean listen to my sacral? I don't get it. Until you feel it, you move with it, you feel it, you actually have to experience what it feels like. It doesn't make sense. And it's the same thing with a projector. Like, I don't get, where am I supposed to get rest? Like, what do you mean not work? Like, I can't just quit my job. And it's like, we don't even realize all of the spaces in our day where we chose to operate like an energy being, like a generator, instead of rest ourselves, like give ourselves the option to take space, take self-care, to focus more on what our body is telling us. There's so many places that we're very rigid because we're in the mind. These are the conversations that we have in that space, and it is so incredibly expansive. Every member, a new member of the collective perspective, gets a preliminary reading. So it's a beautiful opportunity to also get a personalized human design reading for only $44, because it's only $44 a month. And you can leave whenever you want. You can come and go as you please. There is absolutely no forced commitment there whatsoever. For members, you do, as long as you stay, you do get to keep the price that you came in at. You're grandfathered in at that price no matter what it goes up to. And you also get an automatic 22% off of all other coaching with Cree offers. And that includes coaching, like one-on-one coaching. So it's a really incredible opportunity. We jump into also parts work. So a big part of my coaching is in unconscious dialogue. And we put that together with our human design experiment, and it creates this really beautiful relationship where we take the knowledge that we're learning. So here I'm giving you knowledge. I'm teaching you about human design. But when you go to actually walk in your life, you're going to realize all the unconscious limiting beliefs that come up. Well, I can't rest. My life is too busy. Well, let's look at it. Let's talk to that part that is so sure that rest is impossible. Let's talk to that part that knows for sure that it can never be doing work that it loves, that knows for sure that it's impossible for you to be doing something that you truly want to commit to. And when we talk to that part, we see what truly comes up. And what comes up is fear. What comes up is confusion. What comes up is unknowing. What comes up is a past experience that really hurt us. Like, we can know everything that we want, but we actually operate through the unconscious. And through parts work, we actually look at the unconscious. We bring it into the conscious. We see it for what it is. We hear it. We acknowledge it. We pour love and compassion all over it. And when those beliefs come to the surface, a lot of blocks are moved out of our way. And all of a sudden, what we were sure we couldn't do, we're doing. That is the kind of work that we're doing inside of the membership. And it is just a beautiful and fun space to be in. We celebrate together. It's just such it's an amazing space, and it's my favorite space to be if you are really interested in diving more into your alignment and you want a community to be able to do that, then this might be the space for you. And all the links are inside of the description box. And you can always message me also. I mean, if you wanted to talk more about it, just DM me at Coaching with Cree on Instagram. I'm happy to have a conversation about anything, any of my services. You're happy to DM me, or even if you have questions, you're happy to DM me if something's really, really private. But any questions that come up, anything, just type it into the chat and the comment section. I will be sure to answer it for you. I'm sending so much love to my generator types. I love you guys. You are such a delight to be around. I borrow your energy on a daily basis. Thank you so much. You are fueling the world, and we so greatly appreciate it. To all my non-generators, give a hug to your generator types tonight. Send all the love out to your generators. Treat them good. Don't make them do things that they don't want to do. Support them. Take some task off of their plate that they don't want to do. Just, it's so beautiful when we can work together in our human designs and allow for each type to operate as itself, and that actually supports the other types in operating as themselves. So I'm sending all my love to my generators, my manifesting generators. Be as non-linear as you please. And generators, allow yourself that linear focus. Allow yourself to put your energy into that sequential thing. At the end of the day, you're all building towards something. I love you. I will see you next week. Drop your questions, your comments, anything. Let me know if you like this series, if you're enjoying this series, and any other topics that you might want to cover. Until next time, ciao. I'll show you more of the apartment next time too. Maybe, if we've actually done anything. Ciao.